Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm your girl Trish,
And I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
and we are
Black Press.
If this is your first time watching, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
We love your support. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and
Subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you see updates for every time we come out with something new. So welcome. We got a lot on the docket for today. We're going to talk about some funny stuff. We're going to talk about the Balenciaga towel. What else? We got Snoop Dogg. I know y'all heard about that. 50 Cent. Did you hear about 50 Cent?
I haven't.
No. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Diddy because we know that's in everybody's brain right now. And we're going to talk about Michael B. Jordan having a low stroke game, I guess. But so let's get to it. First of all, let us talk about what's up with this Balenciaga towel. Like, for real, like, who's buying? And you know what? Honestly, so Balenciaga has dropped a towel that's $925, some kind of skirt, and it's unisex. This is the problem.
Anyway,
I don't understand. Like, what are we doing? The only reason why they would put something out like that is because they believe somebody's gonna buy it.
Oh, a lot of people will buy it.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, inflation. Y'all spending $925 on a towel, on a bath towel.
But you know, it could go with a look. Like if you have like a whole bunch of muscles, just think you coming out of the shower, you got a whole bunch of muscles.
Yeah, but you ain't
pouring out, and then you just got the towel. It's like
on a commercial. Who else is watching you walk around in a $925 towel that you needed to be $925? Like, yo, let me go get that. What's it called? No, I get the Walmart brand, the extra plush one. So I'll pay $10 for the towel.
Yeah. Can you imagine Walmart version to it?
Yeah, right. It's the same thing. Walmart's version to it is the Balenciaga version. It's a towel. You're drying off. But the problem is, we want, like I said, inflation, gas is too high. But somebody's out there buying a $925 towel to dry off with by the pool. Like, I don't get it. But somebody's gonna buy it. Yeah, I don't. Whatever. It just baffles me. And I've said it before. I said it way back when. Us. We are the ones that drive inflation.
Yeah, because people buy into it.
If people will buy
it's popular, then
they're gonna sell it for the highest price that they can. So if they say it's $925, it's because they believe somebody's willing to pay $925.
Yep.
They say gas is $7 a gallon. That's because they believe somebody's gonna pay $7 a gallon. Anybody gonna just stop driving? Exactly. You gotta go to work. We're always gonna have a reason to spend that kind of money. Yeah. Anyway, next one. Snoop Dogg. Snoop D-O-double-G-Z has decided he's giving up marijuana.
Oh wow!
Round of applause, Snoop, for real. Where's my applause button? Applause for Snoop Dogg. And I think it has to be, because he said, after much consideration with my family, I've decided to give up smoke. Please respect my privacy at this time. It's like when all these research issues are coming out, realizing that actually when people was like, oh, you can smoking weed is better than smoking cigarettes, turns out it's not.
Yeah, bad. All smoke is bad.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes is very bad too. I mean, you can end up with a heart attack from smoking cigarettes and all other things. But yeah, Snoop Dogg is 56.
Yeah, I think
somewhere up there. So he's getting up there. So if you realize, as people get older, they either die sooner or you start to see them eating less pork and doing less smoking or drinking more water. It's because it's like they realize, like, whoa, The doc said if I stay on this course, I might be gone in like 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So they start switching stuff up. Good job to Snoop. He actually wants to continue to live.
Yeah. And
So
then remember, because smoking is, like, really, really bad for you. Remember
yeah,
those girls that, I think the hookah?
yeah.
Yeah, and the
So some girl,
inhalation.
yeah, we had
Mhm.
that news happen this week where some girls ended up getting carbon monoxide poisoning from hookah,
Yeah.
and they was posting it on the gram, and it's like, yeah, I don't think I want a hookah anymore.
Mhm.
But there's gonna be somebody that's gonna be like, that's a one offer. I'm gonna still hookah.
Yeah.
Still gonna have some hookah bars out there. I don't understand what the whole hookah bar deal was anyway. Like,
It's
who
just
creates
cool.
an
Like,
entire
who
bar
and vape
off
bars.
of yeah,
Yeah. It
just vaping and
it's just something
is
cool.
a market for everything, I guess. But obviously, I think they probably gonna be going down pretty soon.
Yeah.
Them smoke shops though, them things are flying up everywhere.
They are. Every corner.
I don't get it.
It's a relaxing space because you can't do it
Mm,
some people can't do it in their house, so you go and you socialize
I
with other
guess.
smokers.
I guess. I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
So congratulations to Snoop figuring it out before it's too late. Is you know, honestly, on the things that are super negative, I would hope that people would figure it out before it's too late because you never know when your time's going to come, and you don't want your time to be too soon
Yeah.
because of the actions that you took or
Mhm.
did not take. So, applause to him again. Keep keep it up. Hope you're gonna last. You got to do the right things and
Yeah.
everything in moderation. I guess like everything in moderation. So next on the docket though, your 50 Cent.
50
50 Cent
Cent.
has announced that he is changing his pronouns. He is no longer identifying as a person anymore.
Oh, wow.
He is identifying as a thing or it. He
Oh,
says, please refer to me as thing 50 Cent. I do not identify as a person anymore. I'm a thing. He seemingly jokingly wrote, but it's not really a joke. It
yeah.
says, thank you in advance. After the announcement, unsurprisingly made headlines, 50 doubled down on his sentiments in other posts on Wednesday. And I mean, you could literally be a 50 Cent. You could say, okay, I'm 50 Cent
Mhm.
and I'm no longer a person. And for him, I think it's relevant. It makes sense because, okay, when you can meet the level that he has met
Mhm.
or get to that point, it's like, okay, me and other people is like, okay, well, my goal is to be a 50 Cent, right? So
Yeah.
if I'm trying to be a 50 Cent, then I'm trying to be a thing, a
Mhm.
level. So he's like, yeah, refer to me as 50 Cent,
50
or
Cent.
the thing 50
The
Cent.
thing 50 Cent. I mean, it's interesting because you wouldn't think, like, a man of his stature would change to a thing.
I mean, what about Prince though? Prince technically was a thing because he didn't actually have a name, he had a symbol. He was a
Yeah.
symbol. So he was the artist
Yeah,
formerly
the
known as
artist.
Prince, and it was just a symbol. So
Mhm.
therefore, that's kind of the same thing. Prince was before his uh ahead of his years. Like
Mhm.
he's just I'm a symbol.
Yeah.
That's 50 Cent. 50
Maybe
Cent is
he's
now a
trying to
symbol.
differentiate from, like, the man from, like, the just what he said, the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have 50 Cent, the
The rapper,
the
you have 50 Cent the
mogul.
businessman, you have
Mhm.
50 Cent the mogul, you have 50 Cent
So
the
it's just a
social media
title, like
influencer.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, I mean, I
because
see where
nobody's running
would
around
make
saying,
sense.
"I wanna be Curtis Jackson." 50 Cent,
Facts.
yeah, 50 Cent is what he's,
Yeah,
mostly known for, but
yeah.
he's gone beyond the 50 Cent that he has, like, more
Mhm.
value than
Mhm.
50 Cent. So,
Yeah.
it's call 50 Cent the thing, but me as Curtis Jackson, I'm the individual man,
Yeah.
I
Kudos to
guess.
him. Hey, 50, I mean,
He's out there
obviously
doing
we
his
see how
thing.
50 move anyway.
He's
always
strategic.
out of the box, always
Yeah.
strategic, and always like ahead of his time.
And I love that show Power. I can't wait till the next season
Yeah.
come out. And
Um,
Ghost is still alive.
and you know what? And I'll give him the kudos like I give if any hip hop artist that
Mhm.
can go through the transitions and then come out on the other side and say, "Hey, yeah, I was successful, but the
Yeah.
things that I was doing was wrong. I got you.
Yeah.
Like we change, we learn, we grow. But if you went through the whole thing and come out saying, again, I was a refugee, then you're not taking any accountability for your own actions.
Yeah.
So 50's did that. So kudos to him. Awesome. Next thing, the worst thing in the world would be not the worst thing, but one of the worst things for a world in the world for a man would be for one of your exes to come out in full blast and say that your pipe game is trash. I mean, so we got some all stars, maybe some rappers where okay, after you break up in some big explosion, then she like, oh, you never washed your butt and your D was little and you stank and
Oh gosh.
have you seen that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean it happens, but to have one of your exes literally be on a full interview, not even just interview, strapped up to a lie detector test and have to answer the question of whether or not your D game was trash or not. That happened to Michael B. Jordan.
Oh man.
Nick Cannon's baby mama, I'm not even gonna try to say her name, Bree, was on this show and she had to answer the question, was Michael B. Jordan's D good?
That's bad.
And this is what she said.
Michael B. Jordan. Good in bed. I kind of want to know for myself.
Amanda wants to know.
He's my whole pass. He's my whole pass.
I'm going to be in so much trouble. No.
That's true.
Uh,
no. Oh, no. He's not my whole pass.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So what do you say after that? She's lying.
He doesn't look like he gives that type of energy though.
What? Good D energy.
Yeah. It's probably her.
You think it's her?
Yeah, it has to be her. Because he looks like very soft and sensual. Like he'll pay attention to like your body and like just you know that type of guy.
Yeah,
that's
he puts that off. Like
Yeah.
that's the type of person he puts off as.
She's just probably like a certain type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's her.
Here's my thing. Like, did she tell him during
That
the
would be
time that
messed
they were
up
together?
if she probably communicated that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think every girl, every woman has a responsibility to let him know if his D game is trash. You have a responsibility to let him know because you have to give him an opportunity.
That hurts their ego.
Yes,
though.
but you have to give him an opportunity to improve.
But a lot of times it only comes up in like an argument or
right.
Be like, you know what? That's why your blah 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 is. And
so, the church world gonna be mad at me about this. But when I was coming up and I was doing what I was doing out there in the streets,
time.
right?
Okay.
Anytime I was with somebody new, after the fact, I do a full on interview. It was like, so
are you serious?
What did you like? What did you not like? Was it good?
So you get pointers for the next one.
I mean, for me, being a perfectionist, I wanted to know, like, yo, give me the details. You know, was the moaning true? or was you faking it?
What?
I need to know this because I need to know better for the next time.
Oh wow.
That's just the type of person I was.
You conduct interviews or
I
exit
was I'm
interviews.
like a perfectionist. So if I'm not doing the right thing, I need to know because I'm not gonna continue to move out in this world without presenting myself in the
Yes.
best way possible. In the
I'm in a
best
hot
way
seat.
possible. Huh? I mean, like if you work in a job, you want to make sure that your boss gives you an evaluation so that you can improve before you just get the axe. Like,
Yeah.
don't just give me the axe. Like, give me some
Prove
evaluations,
yourself.
some periodic evaluations,
Mhm.
some quarterly evaluations, so I can know how I'm doing.
So
That
after
way,
you
if I'm not doing well, I can improve.
so after you get that advice, do you apply it to the same person or do you just take it
I
on to the
applied it
next?
to
You
the same
applied it?
person.
Okay. To try to make it better.
Yeah,
Did they give you a like improvement?
yeah. They gave me 2 thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah. Lights issues, man. These lights been messing up all day.
That's a sign. That was a
That's a
sign.
sign. Oh my goodness. Oh my
If this ain't
God.
the
Hey,
same, they
look.
help you
I'm
out. 'Cause I
not
was gonna
cutting this
say,
out. Do not cut this out. Let me fix these lights.
what?
Anyway, go into the next thing because you got a lot to talk about that anyway.
All right. So we're gonna throw a picture up there for y'all. Go into the next thing. So as you guys can see what's going on in the social media world, Cassie is now suing Diddy, accusing him of repeated coercion and repeated abuse throughout their entire relationship. Now, we dug in and read some of the details as it pertains to their relationship, and a lot of things is coming to surface. And I feel like there's a lot of people around them that knew of the things that were going on, but they never really said anything.
Of course.
There's a and I'm not it has to be in relation. It has to. There's a song, and I want y'all to look this up too. There's a song by Usher,
Mm-hmm.
him and Nicki Minaj. It's called Little Freak.
Mm-hmm.
In the song, he's like, in the song, Nicki Minaj was like, um, she said she made a statement about taking Cassie away from Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to the song and
Mm.
you listen to the details of the case
Yeah.
and you relate the two,
Mm-hmm.
it's like in the upper ranks of social media popularity,
Yeah.
they're running like little circus trains
Yeah.
where they like lending their girlfriends. They treat them like toys. And
Yeah.
it's just like the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
It's just like that movie.
Yeah. I was
It-
saying it the
it-
other day.
yeah, it's very relational to each other.
Yeah.
If you listen to that song, watch that movie, and then tie everything together,
Yeah.
there's something into it.
I believe it. I mean,
Mhm.
the way they live,
Yeah.
it's really like they're trying I feel like they once you get to a certain level, like you have reached a pinnacle where you have to do something different.
Mm.
So how do I experience life in a more
Oh, you
grandiose
try to
way?
feel
Like,
normal or
no,
just-
not normal. It's like once you have the capabilities to experience everything, it's like, okay, now what do I do?
yeah.
Oh, I gotta do something bigger.
Hmm.
And especially people that are not comfortable in their own life, they need to feel like I have to always do something more. And it makes sense with Diddy, like he just always has to do something more, something bigger,
Be
something greater,
extra.
even if it's just a lie. Like with the with the Ciroc
Hmm.
and the other one, the tequila brand.
Yeah.
It's like it was like that with Donald Trump. It's not a black, white, or anything type of deal. It's literally what mankind is. Why do you think that kings and rulers always wanted to conquer more. Need
Yeah.
more, need more, need more. Because we always feel like we have to do more than what we have right now.
Mhm.
So when you've already reached the point where everybody believes that you are doing the best that a man can possibly do, you gotta
Mhm.
figure something. You gotta do something different. But with the whole abuse thing, though,
There's a lot of abuse claims, like, the things that she mentioned
yeah,
was very surprising. Like,
yeah,
if we were to, like, look at some of the stuff she said,
mm-hmm,
even her former assistant is backing the claim.
yeah.
Like, he said that he witnessed some of the stuff.
Oh, for sure. I mean, obviously they would see it, and then why we would turn a blind. Some people will turn a blind eye just because this not to mess up their bag.
Yeah, but that's messed up because a lot of people are coming out and saying, they feel sorry for her, they feel
Yeah,
bad for her. Where
but you
was that
saw it and you didn't say
sympathy?
nothing.
Yeah, where was that sympathy when it was going on? Why you didn't reach out and help? Well, a lot of people sometimes they slap your hand when you reach them
Mm-hmm.
out. But don't go to her and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry you were going through that," and stuff like that. You should have helped her in that moment.
But how much help can you give? And that reminds me of. I mean, it's been we as black people have been like that since slavery.
Mhm.
It's like,
You stay
okay,
with the master.
no, you don't just stay with the master.
Mhm.
You, I, if I try to revolt against the master because he's beating you, then I put my and my children's lives at risk.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's true.
So when we live in such
Mhm.
a capitalist economy, and I need this said person in order to further my career, I have to make a choice whether I'm going to do for me and mine
Mhm.
or speak up for you and lose the only chance that I have in being successful in this industry.
That's true because he also there's reports and allegations that like if there's any man that showed a romantic interest in her,
Mm-hmm.
that he chased them off.
Yeah, it
Like
was
Kid
pretty much
Cudi,
done. Yeah.
he blew his car up, and yeah,
No,
they were
for
in a
real.
restaurant,
Yeah.
and someone was
You
trying to
sure that
talk
man
to
didn't
her.
just have a gas leak? You know how us we are. They be like, man, I know I smell that gasoline, but I got to
He
get to
confirmed
work.
it.
Wow.
He confirmed it, and
Yeah.
then they had different um scenarios when they were at restaurants.
Yeah.
There was allegations that he abused her and sent
Mm-hmm.
her away to like Hawaii because
To watch she could
she was
heal.
yeah, so she can heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and then we got that one where I mean, you got R. Kelly could not have been the only one in the
Mm.
entire industry that was
Mhm.
doing what he was doing.
Yep, it's more,
Because
and
if they were
they
mixing and
coming
mingling
to the
that way,
surface.
if they were mixing and mingling that way, I
Mhm.
mean, you but like you can see, like, and I say that's why I say it's not just us
Yeah.
because Jeffrey Epstein,
Mhm.
all those people that he had tied in
Yeah.
with what he had going on with the whole freaking
It's
now
full
is
circle.
it
It's
the
like a
now king
circus.
of England
It's all coming up to the
or
surface.
what the prince
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so it's happening a lot more than we think,
Yeah.
and it's sad to say that it's always men, but the men have been in power.
Yeah, it's women too. Remember
There
that
are
girl,
because the woman
his
that was with
girl
Jeffrey
yeah,
Epstein was
Delane,
yeah,
I believe her
and she
name
got
is.
charged.
Mhm.
So it's not just men, but it's more men because men are more in power
Yeah.
currently, but you can still see the sprinkle in of women when
Mhm.
they are in a position of being powerful. It's not man or woman, it's mankind.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to understand that part
Mhm.
because there are women out there that are doing insane things. There
Mm.
are men out here doing insane things, and it's because it is not separated from men and women, but just mankind alone. Man's heart is wicked.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Mhm.
So I'm not surprised to hear this about Diddy. because of everything that we've seen. I mean, come on, walk and get me some cheesecake.
Yeah.
In the world of music, I gotta get up every day and do a bunch of that I don't want to do. I gotta bite my tongue and I gotta do it with a smile on my face. But I do want some cheesecake. So I'll see y'all in a little while.
You know what Junior's is at? Yo, fam, Puffy just told us to go to the store in Brooklyn and bring him back a cheesecake and walk.
I can see if I told you to go rob a bank. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing some. I'm gonna go get some cheesecake. You got that much ego? Go do your thing, man. Don't sit here and be talking about it, man. Be fly about it. Get your swag on. Walk that way. Your is that way. Do it. If you want to think about it.
I'm gonna tell you straight like this.
Like you could see that he embraced that role of being in power
Mm-hmm.
to the point where he was willing to emasculate other people
Yeah.
and willing to downgrade other people for his own lifting up.
It's weird that he chooses like younger females that's more impressionable to date. Because look at him and his relationship with Young Miami.
Yeah. And she will not say a bad word about him.
She won't.
That girl she got Stockholm syndrome.
She's conditioned.
Stockholm syndrome.
But now
And she's a willing participant though.
This young generation, they like that stuff.
Yeah, but the young generation,
they're okay with that.
That young generation back then liked it.
Yeah.
Because she didn't
She'll
leave.
come out later on and be like,
after
oh,
the
I was
fact,
being
now that you've
abused
grown up.
and-
Now that
Yeah.
you've grown up and you realize that you were abused,
Mhm.
now there's an issue. But I think that court case that she had posted was from back then.
Yeah.
I think,
Mm-hmm.
but it might not have been because if she's filing a lawsuit, then that court case could be from now because it looked a lot like the divorce papers that I had.
Yeah.
But
And then Kimora Lee, she also mentioned that what you do in the dark comes to the light. Like there's so many.
the
people that's
word says that too.
Yeah, there's so many people that's coming out and like
Mm-hmm.
backing her up. So
And keep doing it. Look,
yeah,
black women, all women, keep bringing it to the light because if these men
So
were
they can
doing
stop.
this, so they can stop, but
Mhm.
also so other men and women or whoever it be will see that if I do this, there's a high chance
Mhm.
that I could see prosecution for it
Yeah.
or legal ramifications because honestly, the only way people stop doing things if they realize that the risk
Mm-hmm.
is higher than the reward.
Yeah.
That's the only way people change.
Mhm.
If I can get away with it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But if I know that if I get caught, it's gonna be way worse than the benefits of me doing it,
Mhm.
I'm less likely to do it. So put it out there. Look, show the receipts to everything. Let's get it out there. And if Diddy has to fall, then guess what? He shouldn't have
Mm.
climbed up there with all that baggage.
Yeah. And
Your
it's
baggage gets you
interesting-
heavy, bro.
It's interesting that him and R. Kelly was friends
Yeah.
because like remember what you said, birds of a feather
Mhm.
flock together.
Birds of a feather flock together.
I think it's something to it.
Yeah.
Now, suppose they, during the scenario, suppose they go and interview R. Kelly to get
Mhm.
some more information so he can get some time off his
Mm.
sentencing. So he
That
can
would
get
be
released.
interesting.
Yeah.
That would be
yeah.
very interesting.
I
if
I
they-
bet he know. He probably in jail like, ooh.
Yeah, because so right now he's got that lawsuit against Tasha K. So
Mhm.
because of the way she was finding information from the
And she released
from
some
the
wild
jailers.
statements recently.
The way she paid for the information from the jailers,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it might even came all the way from the warden to get the information on his recorded conversations with his attorney.
Oh.
So that's how she was getting a lot of information to come out with such hot and pretty much entertainment for
Mhm.
those that were watching her content. But that would be, if that happened, you said it first. That'd be insane, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
could
bet
see it,
you
though.
R. Kelly
He knows
know
some
a
stuff.
lot
He
of
knows some stuff.
skeletons. He probably done shook hands with some skeletons in them
Mhm.
closets.
Because he ain't gonna go down by himself. He
Ooh-wee.
about to get him
Especially
some.
as much as he been going through.
Yep. And ain't
Ooh.
nobody out there speaking on his behalf or
Look.
helping him.
Oh
I
my!
tell you.
You know what would be worse?
What's that?
If R. Kelly ends up like Jeffrey Epstein.
Because of the stuff that he knows. Okay.
I hope it don't happen, but
I know
dang, if it
it's so much
ooh,
wasted.
I did not think about that until right now. Like if because you can't run.
You gotta hush him
you
up.
already in prison. You can get touched.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Watch your back.
Look, if R. Kelly end up like Jeffrey Epstein, you heard it from here first. We predicted it, but I hope it don't happen. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
That would be insane. Even though he gonna be in jail, he gonna be in prison for a long time. So,
Diddy is a wild boy.
I don't know. Diddy, this needs to be honestly, like I said before, this needs to be a lesson to everybody. What you're doing out there is wrong. What is done in the dark will come to the light.
It sure will.
For sure. And then, even if it don't, you're gonna have to answer for it eventually.
Yeah.
And then with the whole physical abuse, because we were talking about Keke Palmer the other day, and I really wanted to talk about or highlight what it is that's going on. There's like a couple of different things that causes this to happen. One, people just be on a power trip.
Yeah.
And once you've been on a power trip, it's like, well, what else can I do?
Mm-hmm.
But then when it comes to Keke Palmer and her ex, I guess call him baby daddy, pretty much.
Yeah.
The way people do things is when it comes to abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can understand. Trust me, I'm married. I can understand the amount of anger that can be built up that would make you want.
It should never
to cause
get
harm.
to that point though. That's the crazy thing.
I can understand the amount of anger that can be built up in someone that will make them want to cause harm to someone else. I cannot understand.
People.
Yeah, I cannot understand the act of actually causing physical harm to someone else.
Yeah.
Because being reasonable people, being people that can decipher our own choices, for me to physically cause harm to someone else, even when I think about it, it makes me cringe, because why would I want somebody else to feel pain? Especially someone that I claim to love. It's a full-on selfishness, honestly. And I think we talked about it before, but it's I feel this way, and I cannot beat you with words, so I feel like I need to beat you physically in order to get you to feel physically the way I feel emotionally.
Yeah, because us women, when it comes to words, like
y'all can cut.
We can tear some stuff down. Especially when you got that island blood in you.
Yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with island. It's just women in general. It's not. I'm telling you.
You haven't got cussed out until you got cussed out from somebody from the Caribbean.
And everybody want to be all on their own tip. But guess what? Women been cussing men out for ages, and men have been unable to communicate in the same way and cause them physical harm to women, because we don't have they don't have, because I got it. You know I got it. I could cut somebody up, up and down, latitude and longitude with my words. But that's just because I was born. I mean, I was raised up with 4 sisters and a mama, and that's 5 women. I had to learn to communicate. Otherwise, I'd be getting cut up. So, but men mostly don't have those capabilities to communicate like that. So when I can't get my point across and you're throwing daggers, I don't know what to do but to act out physically. Yeah, charge. it's funny to charge because when I was growing up,
Mhm.
my sisters used to call me the raging bull or the charging bull. Sometimes, sometimes it was raging, sometimes they call me charging.
Mhm.
But it was because I'd get so angry with them,
You used to do that.
and I'd like charge at them. But up until a certain point,
Mhm.
I couldn't beat them because they were my older sisters, and I couldn't beat them in fighting yet.
Mm.
But it reached a point where testosterone kicked in, and I grew, and I was able to beat them.
Mhm.
And that was when something clicked in me, and so for some men it clicks, and for some men it doesn't.
Mhm.
And something clicked in me to say, I know I can physically harm her,
Mhm.
therefore, and she won't have an ability to defeat me. So therefore, I'm not gonna do it because it would be too easy to do that.
Yeah.
That's when it got dangerous.
Mm.
Because then I learned to cut with words, and that crap hurts way worse than physical. When I can hurt you emotionally, and you
Mhm.
have to carry those wounds forever until I say sorry, that was when my words became very dangerous. But at that point, I realized I can't. If I really do something to you, I could really hurt you, and I love you as my sister, and I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I mean, to the point where one day me and one of my older sisters had this argument, and she was all mad, and she was like, she tried to grab a knife, and she was like trying to
Oh
cut me,
gosh.
and I literally was just like grabbed her wrist and
Mhm.
was like, "What are you doing with that? You're not doing anything. Are you trying to cut me? It's not working," because she's just with her wrist. She's got the knife, but my hand is right there. She's like, "I'm gonna." And I'm like,
Yeah,
what are you
bad.
doing? What are you doing? But men don't have that development a lot of times,
Yeah.
and that's what makes it really hard to maintain relationships and not be abusive. Because, like I was saying in previous episodes, if men don't learn to be have emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
then we can cause great harm to our significant others or anybody.
I think that's a weak man.
Oh,
A
yes,
man,
definitely
and
weakness.
then not even a man, that's a boy still growing to be a man. So it doesn't really
I think,
like
yeah, it
align
definitely
with.
is. And because emotional intelligence is something that somebody should have at a mature age or level. And I wouldn't just say that that's a weak man. That's a weak person,
Yeah.
because there are women out here that don't have that emotional intelligence themselves,
Mhm.
and they can't react to anger or sadness or frustration without using violence as well.
That's true.
So that's a person thing. So that's just why we need to continue to work on one another and
Mhm.
communicate amongst each other. Do the counseling, get the education that you need.
Yeah.
If everything sets you off,
Mhm.
or if every argument ends in physical altercations,
Mhm.
there's something that's not working well, and it's not just that person.
I think it has a lot to do with higher education too, because the more you know about like the brain, the body, how it
Mhm.
works, emotions, how you process things,
Mhm.
the better off you'll be. Because then you can use that cognitive ability to sit and think
Yeah.
before you act,
Yeah.
versus someone who's still coming into their own and not realizing like some of the things that they do can be
Yeah.
damaging to others.
For sure. But and then the level of education that's
Mhm.
another hard part as well,
Yeah.
because they're not teaching that. They're not teaching those type of.
Yeah, they don't teach you
They
that in
don't teach that
school.
in high
Yeah.
school. They're not even teaching that in to go and gain an associate's degree. They're
Mhm.
not even a lot of times they're not teaching that in a regular um
Yeah, you don't learn that
regular
in school.
four-year
It's
or
not
bachelor's
in
degree.
it's not
I
in
don't know. I was
any
like,
type of
I'm thinking
academics.
like bachelor. They don't teach it. They do teach some of that stuff at a higher level,
Mhm.
but you have to be in an actual educational focus for
Yeah.
that level. So people don't learn that stuff. So, but then is also what you said with education is still true. It's still true
Mhm.
because education of knowing what is happening and education of knowing that there are other ways
Yeah.
to accomplish that doesn't have to be just at a institutional education location
Yeah.
or place. We can learn that, hey, if you learn this should not result in this, you
Mhm.
learned enough to start learning more.
Yeah.
So, like I've said in the past, people learn when they become uncomfortable with what they thought they knew.
Unless they become complacent. You have to get to that point to where you want to grow
Yeah,
and change. Yeah.
you have to become uncomfortable with what you thought or you think that you already know
Yeah.
before you can change your mind.
Mhm.
Because learning is changing your mind.
Yeah.
Even if I think 1 + 1 = 2,
Mhm.
I have to change my mind to understand that there are negative numbers that will make 1 + 1 = 0.
Yeah.
But I have to change my mind and open my mind to say, so maybe 1 + 1 does not always equal 2.
Yeah.
Before I can actually learn that 1 + -1 = 0. But you have
Mhm.
to become uncomfortable with, okay, in a real world scenario, I have to become uncomfortable with the idea that man over woman uses violence if woman does not comply with man.
That's sound like caveman talk.
Right?
It
But
does.
it that's ultimately how things happen, and you can interchange man and woman. But
Yeah.
if we are in an argument
Mhm.
and I cannot get you to see things my way,
Mhm.
or we're in an argument and you say something that hurts my feelings or harms my ego,
Mhm.
that is you not doing things my way. My
Mhm.
next my next choice would be to physically harm you the way you emotionally harmed me.
Mhm.
It's cave like, because instead of being physical, instead of you physically harming me, I felt emotionally harmed. But now I have to attack you because you're putting my livelihood of emotional well being at risk, and now I have to fight you back.
Mhm.
And the only way I know how to fight back is physically.
Some people get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That went off on a whole different tangent. But I also looked up,
Mhm.
I'll keep saying it. I've said it before.
Mhm.
But I also looked up uh Sean Combs' past,
Mhm.
and I recognized that his father passed away in the 70s,
Yeah.
and he was highly in criminal activity,
Mm. So he grew up kind of rough.
and then grew up kind of rough, and then grew up the rest without a dad.
And then I remember his mom. His mom, is she still?
I didn't look into whether or not she was still alive.
I think she is.
But all
She's
of
an older
that, like I
lady.
said
Yeah.
in the last episode, all of that, having a dad there is
Mhm.
very important.
It is. It's important.
We got anything else on the docket? I mean, I got something else, but was is it John Smith? I don't want to call him John Smith because I think that's the dude from Pocahontas.
I was
No,
love
Joe
John Smith.
Smith. Joe Smith's and his
Oh
wife
man.
were at an interview it was kind of like a mini session, a mini what's the word? Marriage counselor session.
Okay.
And some things happen at that. But he's a guy that's a social media influencer, and he's always talking about this, speaking on like wisdom type stuff, or what he feels to be wisdom. Because he's got 2 wives, so I don't know how wise that is.
Is that the girl that
Who?
she was doing the OnlyFans?
Yes.
Okay.
So they went and talked to Kevin Wesley on his channel, and you want to go into that?
Yeah,
we might as well. We got time. You know, we don't keep it to less than an hour. But yeah, this mug was pretty interesting. So this is the first part that they were talking about. He got them in and he started talking about what was going on, and
it just the conversation just went left.
Absolutely.
Like it was just went from actually above the OnlyFans and just start pointing at everything that I wasn't doing or I wasn't able to do around the house. So that's why she did it. But the fact that she had one wasn't the issue.
Right. Okay, so I want to point something out. A lot of times when we go to our wives and we're trying to have what we think should be a simple conversation, and we get a whole bunch of things that's been going on in the past, it seems like they're saving up stuff. It's kind of how their mind works. Okay, so we feel like they're being unfair, right? They're talking about subjects that we didn't bring up, right? They're switching the narrative. It's somehow coming out to be your fault. It's a lot of times because women are not as confrontational as men, right? Now, a masculine trait is to fix problems within your family, fix problems, period. Well, women necessarily don't really have that. So she holds it in, where if you have a problem, you're going to say it. For her, a lot of times she's going to harbor it, and then it just comes out whenever you confront her about it. It's kind of like if you squeeze a lemon, what's going to come out? Lemon juice, right? So it's at that time you're applying pressure to her about anything you're upset about. What's going to come out of her of what she's been thinking, how she sees it, probably what she blames you for, and all these types of things, right? And it's going to be difficult to work with that conversation. That's why I say conflict resolution is a skill that both people must really work to have, because you got to deal with each other and work through your problems, right? The first thing I noticed about the video,
that right there, we can unpack that for a whole half an hour, at least. And I think we might just only talk about this on this segment, and then talk about the rest of it later, because. Okay, you know what? What did you think about what was being said?
I think it's true, because, and it goes back to like the older people. Like, women were taught not to pour so much into the man because he's coming home tired from work and he needs to go and rest. But the women were at home taking care of the house.
Yeah.
So whenever their dad comes home, it's, oh, hey, honey, how's it going? Oh, it's going good. But you don't want to throw everything. But nowadays, you bring something to us and we'll be like, all right, well, I got this basket. Let me start emptying out my basket and letting you know what is really going on.
Yeah.
And then that's how people get overwhelmed. And then once you hold too much in, that's when it starts to bubble over.
Yeah.
And that's when corruption occurs in the relationship.
Yeah. And that's, I understand that, all of that. But to me, I think that's something that needs to be addressed, that we need to change as a community. So we need to not make it normalized that women hold everything in that they feel like is not going well in a relationship.
Yeah.
And then only expressing the feelings of what they don't like when the man finally expresses something that he doesn't like.
You know why? Because what we hold, it's a basket that we hold.
Yeah.
And then we have all these stuff in there.
Yeah.
And then once the man comes to try to put something in the basket, it's normally something that's really heavy, and that just weighs us down. So because
I disagree.
because I think because that happens, that makes all right. So let me just start pouring this stuff out.
Yeah.
I got to feel lighter.
Yeah.
So you emptying your load on me. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna empty it back on you.
So I disagree because it's when I point out something that is not right, that I don't agree with her. So it's not so much as I'm putting something into your basket that's already adding to what you already have. It's I am saying something to her that is actually targeting her in what I do not agree with in her action. And then that's when she will come out and say, well, I don't like this, and I don't like this, and you did this, and I don't do that, and you ain't bringing home this, and you ain't did this, and you went out with her, and you went out with this, and this, and that. And it's like, you were not saying any of this until I pointed something out that was a flaw in you.
Because we hold it to our chest. And that's because we don't want to pour everything on you.
Right. But my question is, if you were holding it to your chest, why did you wait until I pointed out something about you to now spew everything out towards me? If you were holding it to your chest, why not keep it? I think that you were holding it, and then the fact that I said something that I think is flawed in you triggered you to want to shoot back at me. You feel like I shot at you, so you shot back at me.
It's not ammunition. You gave the permission to unload, so you're gonna get whatever was in that basket.
But I didn't give you permission to unload. But I gave you something that I felt like you needed to correct.
So it felt like a consent to talk about this problem that was going on. So you present a problem. So all right, let's
talk about all the problems.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You decided, not you, but you decided that because I am pointing out something negative that I think is not right with you, now you're going to point out everything that you thought was negative and that you didn't like about me over the last 6 months.
See, it's like reflecting. Like when you're having a conversation with somebody and you're like, okay, so let me just throw all this stuff on you. You have this, and this. You have so much stuff, and then the other person is like, okay, I'm taking that, I'm absorbing that, but let me put the mirror back on you so you can see that you have those same flaws that you're pointing out.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to recognize it if you weren't doing it yourself.
But the problem is, it's not one person admitting, yes, I have all these flaws.
Yeah.
What you're pointing out in me is correct, but I need to point out that's not how it goes. It is. See the difference? It's not that. It's I'm not going to admit what I'm saying, but I'm going to deflect to say that you're doing this, and this.
Not if you identify it and recognize it. Okay, yes.
But I'm saying, does that happen often? I don't believe it does. I believe that very often, if I say something that I believe is a flaw and that that I think you need to take action to change, not you, but her, I'll say she. Okay. If I am saying that she needs to change, that this is a flaw in her and that needs to be changed, she then does not actually address what I'm saying. She proceeds to unload her basket without ever recognizing that what I was bringing as a flaw even existed. So she's trying to. It's like I'm putting a blue marker paint right here, and she says that blue marker paint is against me. Let me throw all this red right here.
The red flag.
No, red paint. She throws a whole bucket of red paint that she's been holding in her basket in order to blot out that blue paint.
No, I see what you're saying. So it's like an excuse to cover, but I don't see it
and it's like, don't look at the blue spot. Look at all this red stuff that you did.
But why can't it be, okay, you pointed out, I recognize, but that's how it should go.
No, that's my question.
Okay.
Your question is the same as my question.
Yeah.
Why can't it be, I recognize that this is wrong and I need to change it? So now that we're talking about things that we need to change, I see these things that I believe you need to change. It's not that. That's not the way it happens, though. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's why we don't.
Oftentimes, you don't even get the chance to do that, because then once you say that, it's like they don't know how to let go that subject that they keep trying to present to you.
Right, because they don't
beat it down like over and over and over and over again. It's like, okay, I heard what you said. I recognize it.
Yeah, but they don't. Maybe it's because you haven't given proper recognition to the point. Not you, but her. Maybe it's because she hasn't given proper recognition to help him understand that she actually hears what he's saying. If she starts talking about the things that he needs to change, but she hasn't actually said that what he said was valid, and that she identifies that, yes, you're right, and I do need to change this, and I'm going to work on that. That's why I said, and then, but since we're bringing this up, there's some things that I think you need to change as well. That's not, and not that, I think that's the best way that it would go.
Yeah.
But that's not normally.
That's a softer approach.
I don't believe that that's the way that it goes. I believe that the way that it goes is, since you're bringing this up against me, let me talk about this, this, and this. But so now it's not you. She has completely changed the entire topic of the conversation away from her and back on him. And as a result of that, she gets to not change the flaws that she had.
Yeah.
Because now the conversation is on that. I think that's the issue that happened so much. And that's the issue that happened in this. Because Joe was saying, you didn't even tell me.
Yeah.
We didn't even discuss this. But she was like, I'm not worried about us not discussing it. Let's talk about the fact that you weren't meeting the mark where you needed to meet financially.
Yeah.
So she is willing to completely throw a bucket of paint on
so she never
her
just took,
flaw. Accountability.
Yeah.
And I know that's like the taboo word.
It is.
But she didn't. And that's why I didn't want to. I felt like that's the word you were trying to get to. But that's why I haven't used that word, because let's acknowledge. So that's I like that. I like this phrase better. Let's acknowledge the action that needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Address that, and then since we're on the table, let's lay all the cards out on the table so that we can make this constructive for both of us. But don't ignore my royal flush, and then say we need to deal a new deck, and I'm gonna throw this all out on you. That's messed up. It's messed up, yo.
Yep.
And we're gonna dig into this some more, but because I got like 2 or 3 other things that happened, and it was crazy. But that was his name. If you want to see what it was Kevin Wesley, the Truth Factor, the Truth Factory. That's who it is. But if not, then we're gonna talk about it some more, because these are some great points that were brought up out of this whole Joe Smith thing. There is a silver lining, the silver lining in the clouds of their storm of relationship. So I'm gonna talk about it some more in further episodes.
And if you reached this far, we thank you for watching.
Yes, definitely thank you, because we got like almost an hour.
Thanks for your support. Hey, do not forget to hit the like, comment, share, and
Subscribe. I'm your boy, Mr. Define.
And I'm your girl, Trish.
We
and
are
we are
Black Press.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.